Hey guys, and welcome back to another Movie Mates video. I'm Matthew, here with my wonderful co-host and best friend,
Callum.
Callum. How are you, buddy? Keeping well?
I mean, you know how I am.
Yeah.
It's like 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. 6 out of 10.
What about you?
Yeah, 6.
I'd like to go down to 5 or 4.
Okay. Well, yes, as you've seen by the title, Callum and I are going to be discussing Solo.
Yes.
Solo, a Star Wars story. Because
Tongue twister.
Bit of a tongue twister, yeah, absolutely. And this is just another episode in our Star Wars series. This will be a mini review though, instead of a full podcast episode. And yeah, Callum, do you want to let the people know what sort of things we're going to be talking about and that sort of stuff?
We'll be talking performances, music,
Yep.
storyline. I'd like to give you a little context, Matthew.
Sure thing.
If you didn't know this, do you know about the director crisis with this film?
I've heard rumblings.
Rumblings.
Yeah.
So it initially started with Phil Lord and Christopher Miller as the directors of the film, and they apparently had this great comedic script, and they encouraged improvisational
Yeah.
comedy from the cast. But apparently they sort of like this is all rumored.
Okay.
I mean, there was definitely trouble on set, but some of it's rumored in that, like, apparently Alden Ehrenreich is just like shite at improv. So apparently, like, they really clashed heavily, and apparently he's just not a funny guy. So apparently they clashed hard, and so did Disney, because they weren't sticking to the Disney vision of, like, sort of just generic bullshit.
Yeah.
Which is what we ended up getting, really.
Yeah.
So they were fired, and then they were replaced by Ron Howard, who was just sort of like the safe choice. He was like the J.J. Abrams of this kind of film,
Okay.
where he's just gonna stick to the party line and make the movie they want to make. There's not gonna be any problems, which is why it kind of came out quite bland.
It bombed at the box office. I think we can agree
Big
on
time.
compared to
I
other
think
Star
I
Wars
was
films.
I think I was in the very small minority who actually saw this in the cinema.
Yeah, I think it was maybe 350 million only.
Jeez,
400 million.
that's grim for a Disney film.
And Star Wars especially. Like Star Wars films usually guaranteed $1 billion.
Yeah, 100%.
But I don't know if the director crisis contributed to that or not.
It definitely did, because the industry standard for trailers is to release one 6 months before the release, but this released it 3 months before the release.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
the Super Bowl trailer was the first footage that anyone ever saw of this film.
Wow. I suppose it was hard to reshoot if there was criticism behind that as well.
Oh, I mean, they reshot a huge amount of the film,
Wow.
and this is seen across a lot of the Star Wars films, just when the directors won't get in line.
Yeah. Just for any people, full spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So my first point really to you is: do you think this film was needed?
Not whatsoever.
No, me neither. I just think because the character of Alden Ehrenreich,
Ehrenreich.
and
Emilia Clarke.
no, who played? Oh no! Oh, don't tell me his name. Indiana Jones. Don't tell me. Give me a clue. What's his name begin with?
It's like a rhyme for a type of army.
Ah, everyone's gonna kill me in the comments. What's it begin with?
Like it's a rhyme of an army and then a car type.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what I was talking about with the first clue?
No.
A garrison.
Oh, okay. Yes, because Harrison Ford and Alden Ehrenreich just feel so different, I think.
Yeah, because
Totally.
Han Solo is meant to be like a lovable rogue who commits bad acts, but you love him anyway. But this guy just seems like a really nice guy who out of nowhere just shoots people. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Just his demeanor did not match his actions in the same way that Harrison Ford did, and the characters are completely different.
I think he's a good actor, Alden Ehrenreich. I gotta start.
We'll just call him Han
Let's
Solo.
call him Han Solo.
Yeah.
I think he's a good actor, and I think Emilia Clarke is Kira is good as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the main criticism I have with every Star Wars film, and this is a common trend, like the opening credits of exposition and
Yeah.
stuff.
I thought they'd been that, like, with Rogue One. Like, I thought we'd never see that in a Star
too.
Wars spin-off. And then yeah, they just dump like it's called hyperfuel in the sort of like pseudo crawl, but like what did they call it in the film? Like
I believe they call it coaxium.
yes.
Yeah, but
I just thought like sweet MacGuffin, and
Yeah,
that's just what the film revolves around.
like
Unfortunately.
I think because the opening title credits of Exhibition are products of their time, like they got away with it. But I think now, and when this film was released 2018,
Yes, it's kind of
it's
just
lazy.
lazy. Yeah. I agree.
But any other points from you?
I mean, yeah, if we just
we'll go through
jump
yours.
right in. I agree with you that just Alden Ehrenreich's wrong to replace Harrison Ford.
Agreed.
The hair, even. It's not right.
No, it's not right. It's like bouffant.
It is bouffant. I agree with you. So the film begins with sort of like a really dark, slow speeder chase.
Yeah.
I was just like, turn on the lights, mate.
Yeah, like I've my exact note is great opening chase scene. However, every shot is just a monotonous grey.
Really, you thought it was great.
I thought it was good, but I just thought
it was like
so
4 miles an hour though. Like it was. I think it was blander than the pod race from Phantom Menace, honestly.
Oh yeah, the pod race from is good though.
No.
No. Like no, I think the chase is it's every shot in this film is just so bleak, isn't it? There's no vibrancy. Like Rogue One is probably one of the most beautiful action films. Shot of all
in
time.
the third act especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. But
Like,
this is just it's not well shot at all.
No, it's not, and that's just boring Ron Howard. I'm putting it out there.
Yeah.
Ron Howard's films like look
What
boring.
else has he felt? What is that?
He directed The Grinch.
The Jim Carrey one.
Yeah. And let me think. Like he's Bryce Dallas Howard's dad.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
But what else did he direct? Was Moon by Ron Howard? I don't
I'll
know.
have a wee look
I've
this one
I've
up.
never been particularly visually interested in his films.
Yeah, I do agree. Like the shots are quite.
I think it was poor. Yeah.
He's done.
But I mean, you know that's not usually the fault of the director. Like the director lines up the shots, sees what he wants in the scene. You know that's probably the fault of either the lighting technicians or the cinematographer.
Yeah.
So like I think people are often like quick to blame the director.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they do have final say, but the cinematographer, you know, like they're professionals, so like, you know, directors usually just listen to their opinion, and sometimes that's, you know, to their detriment.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
He's done a lot. He's done Da Vinci Code, Inferno.
Right.
In the Heart of the Sea. He's done a Beatles documentary. He's done a lot of good stuff.
He's done a lot of critically panned stuff.
Yeah. Excuse me.
I don't think a single one of those is like considered a good
He
film.
likes Tom Hanks apparently. Yeah, he's in a lot of his films. But
Indeed.
yeah.
Like for such a low planet, Corellia seems to have quite a lot of security.
Yeah, it does. Like it's really well fortified, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean just like hundreds of you know, technologically capable armies are just after two after two, you know, street urchins. You know,
Yeah.
I don't really understand why they would be.
Like this film reveals how Han Solo gets his title, I guess. And I'll do the quotes. Where are your people? I have no people. Solo. That's very C3PO then.
Yeah, I mean it's just yeah, it's just like the guys called him like a pathetic piece of shit. Honestly,
Why?
It's like
Why can't
dickhead with no friends.
Like Solo's a good. Just have that be his.
Just have that be certain.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Like now I'm left wondering what his actual name is.
Well, it's just Han.
Han?
He didn't have a surname.
Oh, well.
But like, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, you know, had him have like a different name, and then that's just a name he makes up to join the Empire. But then I think this is just so poor.
Yeah.
I think it would have been much better to say that Han Solo is just a fake name.
100%. Yeah.
And then, like, do you agree that him having like a true love before Leia, who was like with him from childhood, kind of makes their romance less special?
Absolutely. I think Kira. I just think that romance should have just been forgotten about. Completely.
Sorry.
Sorry, for any viewers that are wondering why we're laughing, Callum attempted to throw. Is that rapping? Or
No,
something? Is that-
I just bought like a 1920s gangster outfit.
there is reason for this.
Yeah, and there was a fake mustache that came along, and I just pulled it apart and tried to like throw it onto my table, and it just landed on Matthew's foot.
Lovely, beautifully done. But yeah, I think it sort of lessens the like true love aspect of him and Leia.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, this girl, like they you know, clearly wanted to like, you know, reinvigorate the franchise with some romance, and they're like, oh, let's make him an even better romance than Leia. But then this is set before he meets Leia,
still
so it
confuses
makes
me.
her seem less important.
They cast someone who looks exactly like Carrie Fisher as well. Like, Emilia Clarke looks pretty similar to Carrie Fisher, I would say.
I think they were
look similar.
I think they were just trying to play on nostalgia for A New Hope, really,
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
and just try and get back some of that joy and rigor into the franchise because
Yeah.
you know at that point you know they just released The Force Awakens 3 years before and people were a bit underwhelmed
Yeah.
because I mean a lot of people just felt it rehashed
I really liked it.
A New Hope. So I think that this was, you know, trying to have like the spirit of A New Hope in that sort of romantic element. Well, I suppose more The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I know this film is a spin-off, but it just doesn't feel like a Star Wars film to me.
No, not at all.
Because it's a very strange film because I think it gets confused between like a heist film and also
Yeah.
like a militaristic film because obviously like every action scene has like Imperial guards and Imperial soldiers in
Yeah.
it. But it's just
It just seems like the transporter with Jason Statham with Chewbacca in it. You know, like
Yeah.
it's like we need to get to point A, point B, steal something, bring it back, transport this,
yeah, it's and all it is just trying to find an item, which coax you.
Yeah.
That's all it is really.
and like no one gives a shit.
Yeah, really, yeah. But yeah, I mean, if we're gonna talk about Chewbacca, like, did you like their initial meeting, how they meet?
I don't like the idea that Chewbacca eats people.
Yeah, he's like he's like a beast.
I'm not fully up for that, you know.
I like
Obviously, he was the only food that they were supplying him with, but yeah, it's kind of concerning. Because I mean, you know, Wookiee rights and everything, but you know,
yeah.
don't eat
Don't eat people.
Don't eat people while they're alive.
No,
Uh,
no,
It's
definitely
just,
not
it's just you know, just
throw it out there. Hot take.
yeah, it is a hot take. I mean, going back to like the name they give Han, you know, like would you continue to use like the name Han Solo like with pride after it having been given to you by the Empire?
Yeah, it's straight. Like, it is a cool name, but
Is it like?
Han Solo? Well, you know,
I think it's cool because we associate it with a cool character. I don't think the name is cool. I think the character's cool, and we've associated that name with him.
yeah. I mean, a lot of Star Wars names are quite on the note. Like, they're quite like cheesy. Like Skywalker is as cheesy as they come, isn't it? Really?
Like, did I ever tell you that like in the original script his name was gonna be Luke Starkiller?
Seriously?
Yeah, which I think is more embarrassing, honestly.
Star Killer. No, but that sort of just gives away the plot for all the Star Wars films, that they're just gonna destroy the Death Star, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose.
Star Killer. That sounds like a Toy Story ripoff or something. You know?
Yeah, it just seems like
Luke Starkiller.
an incredibly lazy name. He claims that like he's gonna become the best pilot in the galaxy.
Oh, Han.
Oh, Han. Maybe the best, like, non-force sensitive pilot, I suppose. But, I
Yeah.
mean, you know, even Anakin Skywalker was probably a better pilot. Oh, actually, no, I'm not going to say that. That's too hot a take, I think.
Ooh.
I think that's red hot. I think...
Like his lightsaber.
Well,
right?
well, I mean, like, I don't think Han would have been able to do... Or
Han.
Like, what a piece of shit. Like, I'm sorry. But I think that, you know, I don't think he'd be able to hack that pod race like... little Annie did.
I agree. I think this film has great like Western undertones. If you get me, there's a lot of stuff on
Gunslinging.
Gunslinging and desert planets and stuff. But I think my biggest prop for this film is Donald Glover's Lando. I think that's amazing casting.
It's your biggest what? Sorry.
That's my biggest like praise I can give to the film.
I could have sworn you said prop.
Props to the film.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard it used like that.
Yeah, like Donald Glover's Lando. I think that's great casting.
Okay.
Really.
I think you said my favorite prop.
Donald Glover.
His blaster.
Ooh. But no, like
you look like a cape man. Like, are
capes.
you jealous of
I like capes.
Lando's capes?
I think my favorite film cape is Shazam. If we're talking about film
interesting.
capes.
I think it's incredibly unnotable.
Yeah. What other capes are there?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange got a good one.
It's a cloak.
It's a cloak.
We're such idiots.
Why do we gotta talk about capes?
Lando.
Yes. Yes. I love Donald Glover as Lando. Any opinions on that from you, bud?
Yes, I loved him. I love Donald Glover in anything.
Absolutely.
Have you heard any of his music? I mean, you've told me your mom.
My mom's a big Childish Gambino fan.
I mean, I don't think it was until like maybe a year ago that we found out. Matthew just turned to me. We were talking about Childish Gambino in English, and then Matthew, I guess, had seen one of Childish Gambino's music videos with Donald Glover in it, and Matthew was like, "Does Donald Glover have anything to do with Childish Gambino?" I was like, "Same guy." And he's like,
mind blown.
"What?"
It's the same reaction I had with Beyonce and Destiny's Child, to be honest.
You didn't know she was in the band?
No, not until recently. But
Okay.
talented guy. I haven't seen many of his like more famous works. Like I think what's the favorite
Community
TV show he's in other than Community?
Atlanta.
Apparently that's amazing. I haven't seen
I've heard, yeah.
but like anything I've seen him in, he's been good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I just have the really confusing plot aspect that do with Lando is that he cheat. You know the way he cheats.
Yeah.
But he still helps him. I guess that's the good.
Yeah,
guy.
like either you're a piece of shit or you're not a piece of shit. Like
at least well, maybe he's a good guy, but
no, I think he seems like a piece of shit. Well, I mean, see, I think I'm throwing this out there. I haven't seen the original trilogy.
Hot take.
Hot take. I mean, so neither.
I've only seen Return of the Jedi.
Matthew's seen Return of the Jedi. I've seen bits and pieces, but what from what I can gather, like Lando hates Han because Han's a piece of shit. But honestly, Lando seems worse than Han.
In this film, yeah.
It definitely in this film, because I mean, you know, he cheats to stop Han winning the Millennium Falcon, and then he flies off when you know, Han needs him.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it was Han's fault directly that like L3 died or anything.
No.
So I really don't think that Lando has like a proper, you know, reason to dislike him.
Yeah.
But you know, that's just my 2 cents. So we find out at the end. I mean, like this is relevant to a point I have chronologically. What was the name of the alleged marauders?
Enfys Nest.
Yeah. And like they, you know, they're sort of redeemed by the end because it's like, oh, they're children. It's like, yeah, that doesn't mean they didn't kill Jon Favreau.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, like they brutally.
Can I say Callum loves Johnny Favs?
Yeah, and I was so delighted to hear him in this film. But I mean, they just brutally murder him, and then by the end they're like, they're kids. Oh, little scamps,
scallywags.
You know.
Yeah. I think they look cool.
Yeah.
I think their costumes are cool. I've got to say, like the Wild West style scene on Savareen, I think the planet's called, the desert one, against Enfys Nest, I think it's really cool. But I guess like so like this is actually no, I'll leave the point I was going to make until later because it's quite
okay.
long.
But so I think we should talk about Dryden Voss.
Yes.
Right. So are you aware of the reshoots with this character?
No.
Right. So originally, the villain of this film was played by Michael K. Williams, and he was a sort of like human cat hybrid. And he would have been a crime boss, but then Michael K. Williams wasn't available when they were doing reshoots, so they brought in Paul Bettany, which is quite a visual character difference.
Yeah.
And then they you know, obviously rewrote the character to just be a guy with, you know, light up red lines on his face.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just putting it out there, a very reasonable guy.
Bettany?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see.
No, I mean like
the character. Yeah.
I mean the character.
Yeah.
Like he could have just easily murdered them at any point, and he's very reasonable. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I gotta say, gotta give props to the Empire.
Yeah. Well, I mean they're not associated with the Empire.
Oh well, yeah, I guess.
You know,
they're morally ambiguous, is what I mean. Like,
they're equally, more. Well, I mean, you know, they're not morally ambiguous. They're allegedly evil. But for an allegedly evil guy, very reasonable businessman.
Gotta say, gotta props to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the guy.
Yeah. Paul Bettany is a good actor.
He is amazing. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't really watch any of the films he's in. Like I told you about Iron Man, right?
Where,
like he just did his voice work in his house, was given the money, and then never saw the film, and still hasn't.
I like the fact that he's married to Jennifer Connelly, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like she's a Karen, isn't it?
Karen in the MCU.
I like that.
He actually proposed to her after 9/11.
Oh really?
Because yes, she had been, I think, recently divorced, and he decided to act on his feelings after being concerned because Jennifer Connelly and her son were in New York during 9/11. This is a big. I'm sorry for the downer tone I've taken.
No, I've got an equal tangent to go on after this.
But you know, like he decided, you know, after that, you know, massive panic of their safety to propose to her. So like they never actually dated. They just went from being friends to being engaged.
Mm-hmm. Like on Paul Bettany's Wikipedia, this is a really bad tangent, but I've wanted to ask you this for a while. So Paul Bettany's Wikipedia, he says he's from Shepherd's Bush.
Right.
Last time I was in Shepherd's Bush, I had seen you know the guy who plays Agent in Daredevil, season 3 of Daredevil. Is it Agent? What's his name? You know the guy who like he's like is it like Raheem Ali or something is his name.
Oh, Nadim.
Nadim, yes.
Nadim.
Nadim. Like I'd seen him, and I just wanted to ask you if you ever like met any famous actors or seen any famous actors.
Not to my memory.
We've seen the body double for Darth Vader at Comic-Con. That was pretty cool.
I did not.
He was there.
What? No, he what?
No, he wasn't. The body double was there for the first Comic-Con.
Oh, don't call him the body double. Do you mean David Prowse?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't call him the body double. He demands respect. And we'll talk about that when we talk about the original trilogy. About like, you know.
Or do you think people overrate James Earl Jones? Or do they
No. But David Prowse does. Like David Prowse like thinks everyone on Star Wars is a piece of shit, and we'll talk about why in the original trilogy episode.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but you know we've seen Manu Bennett from Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
I've met a couple of famous podcasters from Do Go On.
Yeah.
My favorite podcast. No, I don't think so. We have a couple of friends in school, and a few months ago they were going past a film production. And they were really thirsty, and then Alec Baldwin just shows up and says, like
He's like drinking Sonostas or something.
yeah, no, like the guys tried to take water, and then someone said, oh no, that's only for the crew, and then apparently Alec Baldwin rolled up and said, give the boys some water. Like, do you know who I'm talking about?
Mooney and Jack or something.
No, it was I mean, let's not say their names, Matthew. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
I mean, you'll cut this out, but it was Sean and Alex.
Yeah, I knew it was Mooney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
In a weird way. It's a very Alec Baldwin thing to do, I think.
Okay.
But no.
This film just feels like a checklist to me. You know,
Well, like,
they're like, oh, we have a Han Solo origin film, so we have to do this, and this.
like Chewbacca, love interest, Lando, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You know, how he got the Millennium Falcon, how he did the Kessel Run. You know, it was just ticking things off a list rather than telling an interesting story.
Mm-hmm, yeah. What do you think of the Kira? Would you call it a double cross?
I wouldn't really call it a double cross, because I mean, she never gives any impression that she's on the good side. She constantly says to Han Solo, like, I'm a bad guy, and he's like, nah, but you're hot though.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like he's the worst listener in the world, which I think carries over to doesn't carry over, like, you know, was heavily present in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
I love you. I know.
We're
gonna talk about like what a twat he is. Like, come on.
I guess we gotta talk about Darth Maul reappearance cameo.
Oh, I thought you said something else. Never mind. No, let's move on.
Amazing.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it. I love Darth Maul.
I loves it.
Is that what I said?
Yep. I am not interested whatsoever. I mean, clearly this film is not getting a sequel, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I think it's just to provide some context, because Star Wars Rebels is still is officially, I think, in the Star Wars continuity.
Okay.
So, you know, they try to respect that as much as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just talk about how fucking stupid it is, though, that he's alive?
Maul.
Yeah.
Robot legs.
Robot legs are not good enough. Robot legs do not, like, you know, fix your cut in half body.
Yeah.
Your insides are gone.
Big time. Maybe it's a twin brother or something.
Maybe.
You know, the movie
really?
classic. The classic movie trope.
It's like the Professor X, like he has a twin brother who also needs a wheelchair. Like this guy has a twin brother who also needs robot legs.
Exactly.
But in Star Wars, I think it's Star Wars Rebels. I think like Darth Maul, Star Wars Rebels. I think is set between Solo and Episode 4, and just Darth Maul spends he spends years getting up like the physical training to finally kill Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then he gets cut in half again. I think he does like the Anakin Skywalker and tries to flip over him, and then Obi-Wan Kenobi just cuts him in half again. But I think he's dead. I think he's dead for good.
Cut in half. What a guy.
Sorry, spoilers for Star Wars Rebels. Stick that in the description, Matthew.
Okay. Yeah, so, any other points, bud?
I've quite a few. Let's talk about L3, because I don't think the droids should have equal rights.
You don't?
No.
Oh.
Obviously not. Because she says, we're sentient. No, you're not sentient. You're programmed to believe that you're sentient. You're intelligent, but you're not sentient.
Okay.
Are you not
I'm
agree-
not- I-
are you
I
not
don't-
agreeing with me
No,
here?
I'm not.
Are you trying to be PC to droids, a fictional concept? Because they're not robots, they're droids. Droids don't exist. Well, like, this kind of thing doesn't exist.
I'll get into it more about KTSO and Rogue One,
Okay.
but
Are you seriously, like, tossing this over in your
a
head?
little bit.
But, I mean, let's not even talk about robots, because robots are real, but droids, like, these droids don't exist. So, you can speak your mind, Matthew.
I think it's hard to say because like obviously C-3PO isn't in this film, but like C-3PO is sort of, he feels human to me, so therefore like sort of think, oh, he probably have equal rights, but then I
But
don't
he's
know.
programmed to be that
Yeah,
way.
exactly. So it's hard to say.
Okay. That seems like a cop out, but okay, let's move on. I think that Beckett was too overt that he was gonna double cross. Like he said like three phrases that were just like, ha, don't trust anyone. Ooh.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
people are predictable.
100%. Yeah.
You know, like it did not surprise me at all.
No.
I like because they play it as a reveal.
Well, the film's very predictable, isn't it?
Oh, incredibly, yeah. I mean, like, you know, because all the characters,
That's the problem with prequels.
all the characters that matter, that are there, you know, are gonna live.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what happens to them, because you're like, well, it's not like Han Solo's gonna die in this film.
Yeah.
And then Beckett is revealed to be a villain, and it's like, yep, knew it.
Didn't see
I think everyone knew it. Okay. I wrote, I'll just read this as I've written. I have Three's death other than joy.
Oh, why?
I don't know, just to get her to shut up, because I was just so done.
Yeah, sorry.
Because, I mean, I've never seen a more pompous, arrogant droid. They just have like such a joy with killing droids in these films.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like they're just the most disposable characters. You know, really.
See,
As we'll talk about in Rogue One.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I have a lot to say about KTS actually.
Okay, fantastic. Did you have anything else to say on L3?
Nothing on L3, but nothing
Okay. I think that they could have easily restructured the film so that like the Kessel Run was the third act of the film, and I think it would have been a lot better. Because I think that final action scene, I think that the action scene where they like, you know, release everyone from their captivity and then do the Kessel Run, I think had that been, you know, the third act, that would have been a much more satisfactory ending.
Yeah, like the Kessel Run's quite pretty paced, I would say.
Yeah.
And yeah, structurally probably would have fit in better for the end.
And then I think you could have covered a lot of what they did in like the last third of the film in a sequel.
Oh yeah, definitely. 100%.
You know, and I think
nothing happens like the first.
I honestly think
like,
this film would have worked if it had been like half war film, half, you know, rebellion, you know, MacGuffin search thing.
Yeah.
I think it could have worked
Big
if
time.
it didn't have the third act tacked onto it.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, if they just changed it so that, you know, they defeat Dryden Voss and then just do the Kessel Run for themselves.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, like to give that to Infus Ness.
Yeah. 100%.
Like if that's why they did the Kessel Run, that would have made a lot more sense to me.
Yeah.
And I think the film would have been appreciated.
Because a lot of it is bogged down in trying to get the coaxium, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I liked how they subverted the, you know, I've got a bad feeling about this by saying I've got a really good feeling about this. Because I've noticed that, you know, it's the spin-off films that, you know, take a subversion on that, and I enjoy that, you know, a bit of differentiation.
On the nose as well.
Yeah, indeed.
100%.
It doesn't feel. I can't read my own handwriting.
Is that a quote?
Like it. No, it doesn't seem like he made the Kessel Run because like he's a skilled pilot. Just because like the Millennium Falcon was so like tricked out with cool shit.
I think the Millennium Falcon though it'll always be iconic.
Yeah.
I think in this film, like.
But I mean.
I think he's a good pilot.
But I mean, you know, obviously throughout the original trilogy, you know, he says, "Oh, I made the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs." I think that's much better. Like, you know, when you don't know whether he's lying or not.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think
best left ambiguous.
Definitely. And also, you know, he says, "I made the Kessel Run." It's like, no, the ship that you even you don't own did like with a co-pilot and hyperfuel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like 100%.
Yeah. Like when Han Solo says like, "I'm definitely not the good guy," in this film it really seems like he is. You know, there's not a point where I'm like, this guy is a dickhead.
That's the whole thing, going back to like Harrison Ford and Alden Ehrenreich. Like they're two very different characters.
Yeah.
Alden Ehrenreich sort of like
happy-go-lucky.
It's not really a coming of age because like he's not that young.
It's not like 14.
Yeah, but like he's sort of
Han Solo puberty, a Star Wars story.
But yeah, like he's just a lot more. I wouldn't say positive, but like he's quite. Yeah, I suppose he's quite like excited and upbeat.
I mean, yes, yeah. I finally I can decipher my own handwriting. I write in shorthand as well. Like I write initials, so I was saying that yeah, I think Han Solo is definitely a better guy than Lando, because honestly, in this film, Lando just has no redeemable qualities really.
Apart from his played by Tom Glover.
Yeah, apart from his
charm.
His charm.
Yeah, 100%. I wish this film did have more Lando and Darth Maul. So.
Yeah, I mean, like Lando is suave as fuck.
Oh yeah,
you know.
100%. He's a stylish dude.
Oh yeah, big time. I like how, you know, just everything's on fire and he's complaining that she's using his cape to put it out.
Yeah.
Like that seems like a you thing to do.
Well, cape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, like no, I mean just more, you know, like if there was a fire in your house and you say to the servants like, no, that's the good drinking water, you know.
That's the ice cold water, sir. No.
Yeah.
I don't have servants. Just to clarify.
Nah, cut that part out. You definitely do.
What? You've been to my house.
Yeah.
Oh, were they locked away?
Yeah. No, that was the staging area for your invisible mansion.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. What do you think of the score in this film?
Entirely unnotable, yeah. I have
good.
no memories of it. Who was done by, do you know?
I'll have a wee look. See here.
Pretty sure it wasn't John Williams, and if it was, we're gonna get shit from Turlock in the comments.
Shout out Turlock. Just checking the.
Just gonna fill time now.
Yep.
You are my fire, the one desire, believe. When I say I want it.
John Paul and John Williams.
Oh, John Williams was involved.
He did the Han Solo theme and the original Star Wars music. Which
okay, so yeah, like none of the new music was done by him. Yeah, obviously I noticed like. I mean, oh, thanks so much, you too.
Thank you.
And thank you, viewers. You know. No need to throw roses or compliments at us, but definitely do.
We're
it.
used to.
Yeah, no.
Any other concluding points, buddy?
I have more than concluding points. You know, I have quite a few points. Yeah. I think that they should have had Beckett's story finish with him leaving. I think the reveal, I say reveal, like just him coming back as the final last villain was incredibly poor. I think, and it was so forced having Han shoot first, because that's such a contentious point about episode 4, whether he shot Greedo or Greedo shot him first. I don't know why people want him to have shot first. Like, why do you want him to be a piece of shit?
It's a very uncharacteristic thing for the character to do, I think.
For this character,
yeah.
Certainly. Yeah, like, it made no sense for me. I think they were just trying to play on nostalgia of, like,
Western.
Ooh, he actually did shoot first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it goes against Western rules of, you know, drawing simultaneously.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
You know, he just, like, blew a hole in him.
Yeah, but, no, it was very uncharacteristic, I thought. Of the Alden Ehrenreich.
I mean, I don't know why, like, you know, Beckett just, like, kept, Kira, Han, and Dryden alive and just fucked off. Like, surely he knew
he's a nice guy.
He knew that was gonna bite him in the ass. Like, he just said, like, yeah, I'm gonna get Chewie to give me that, to bring the hyperfuel. You guys stay here, I guess.
Yeah, don't escape. Like.
Yeah, no, I mean, this guy seems like a piece of shit. Like, he would have killed everyone.
Who, Beckett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no reason to believe that there was any reason for him keeping them alive other than plot convenience.
You are.
I said, like, I think that they left far too many loose plot threads, and now if they don't have a sequel, like, there's just a huge hole left in the lore, because, like, now that we know that in this continuity Darth Maul is alive, and yet there hasn't been any consequences for that in any of the films, you know, if they don't make a sequel to this, that just leaves, like, a huge chunk of time with no story.
Oh yeah, big time.
And, you know...
Wasted the character.
Yeah, and like, why would you establish so many new characters only to waste them?
Mm-hmm. 100%.
I think that this is Disney's fault for not having like enough courage to entrust this.
I do agree. I think Disney as a creative studio has too of all its films, and I'll say this, I'm a huge MCU fan, like you know me. I think it has too much of a creative grasp on what, like, I'd imagine if for a director who works with Disney, like Ron Howard, or say like, you know,
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams or whatever, like I would imagine Disney would be very strict on what plot lines you can actually do.
Yeah.
Like I'm amazed the Russo brothers got away with time travel in Endgame, to be honest.
But I think it's just because like this is such a long established franchise, they don't want to do anything to mess it up.
Yeah,
but then that just produces really boring films.
Exactly. Like Solo was not needed, and
Yeah.
it wasn't bad.
Well,
I
like
still
it's just weird that they make the character so different, but yet they wouldn't make him so different as to be funny. They're like, yeah, we're gonna make him really nice instead of like a lovable rogue. We're just gonna make him a really nice guy. But then why can't he also be funny? They're like, no, that's a step too far.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like,
yeah. You know what I mean?
Like, if you're gonna make him so different to the Harrison Ford version, at least make it an entertaining alternate version.
Oh yeah.
You know, don't make it simultaneously different and boring.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree.
You know,
Yeah.
so how does this rank for you? What would you give
For
it
me,
out of 10?
from the films I've seen so far, it's better than the prequels. Don't get me wrong. Well, some prequels.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it a 6.5.
I think I would reply with a same 6.5.
6.5. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just mediocre for me.
Yeah, it's generic.
There's
it's
nothing.
a bit
There's
bland.
nothing bad about it. There's just nothing really top notch, like upper echelon, you know. But
That's how they speak in Matthew's area, you know. The staff were upper echelon, you know.
oh man, it's been a while since she came over. She came over sometime. So yeah, I suppose this will conclude our thoughts on Solo.
Yeah.
Calum and I would like to thank you very much for listening. We really do appreciate it. Everyone who's liked, subscribed, commented, shared, all that good stuff. We honestly cannot thank you enough.
Yeah, and obviously we're doing the films chronologically.
Absolutely.
So you can look out for the Rogue One episode coming out very soon.
Yeah, do you want me to upload the Rogue One on the same day?
Very soon.
Very soon.
Yes.
Yes. 5 minutes. No. No, yeah. If this is anyone's like last episode that they watch before Christmas, Cal and I would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Indeed.
And stay safe out there, guys. So without further ado, yeah, that concludes us, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.
Bye bye.